Hey guys, happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day for those moms out there. And happy birthday. All right. Yeah, just a stroll here in my town. I was going to go to the Garrett Mountain reservation and try to get some owls. There's some baby screech owls out there right now. But honestly, I didn't feel like trudging through wet grass today. I tried to film something for us yesterday, but it ended up being incoherent babbling. So I ended up here in my town, and there's a train station here. Well, it's no longer an active train station. It stopped being an active train station around 1959, but it was originally built in 1872, and then it was re erected in 1927, where they gave it the pretty brick facade um, and stuff like that. So, there's something special about history in your town. So this building has a shell going back to 1872. The exterior was redone and other things were fixed up and stuff, but it still gives you that feeling of a old American train station. I feel like this would be a great place to do a throwback style photo shoot. Ladies, if anyone out there is interested, lives in the New York City metropolitan area, let me know. As Fozzie Cardi say, hit me up, and we can make something happen. But I wanted to ask you guys a question. So I was sitting yesterday thinking about all the great lenses I've used over the years that were not official tissue, that were not made by the original manufacturer. And there's a couple of lenses that I've enjoyed using, right? Like the Tamron 28 to 75, both versions, the original version as well as the G2 version. But they were clinical, cold, very good, very sharp, very amazing lenses. But they were, like I said, cold. The Sigma 18 to 50 for my Fuji XT5. I love that lens. Again, it doesn't have personality though. You know, that's the one thing that the 18 to 55 does have over it. It has a little personality, but I rather have the lightweight and the fixed aperture of the Sigma than the f 2.8 to f4. Either way, both lenses are great. But I started thinking back, like when was the last time a aftermarket lens gave me a thrill? And I had to go back all the way to my first camera, my first DSLR camera. My first DSLR camera was the Nikon D5000, and I bought the original kit lens with it, and I didn't know that I wasn't impressed yet, because I was young in the world with photography. And then I picked up a 35 millimeter f1.8 from Nikon, specifically for the camera. And that's when I started opening up my mind to you can take better pictures than what a kit lens allows. So then I ended up delving down the rabbit hole back then of what I needed to buy because I needed all the gear already, even though I wasn't even thinking about shooting professionally yet. So I ended up buying a Tamron 90 millimeter f2.8 macro, and that thing was just my first magic lens. It was my first lens where, um, you could get super detailed on stuff. Yet, if I was in a pinch, which I always was back then, I realized I could use it to do portrait work or in wedding photography for detail capturing. It was just, and it had a, a vignette to it that to me I thought was character. I didn't realize what it was back then because again, I was just shooting because I was happy to be shooting. So then I also ended up picking up a Tamron 70 to 300 macro lens with a variable aperture lens. And I also love that one too because macro, because super zoom, I could reach out and touch the world. And those to me, those two lenses I would never buy today other than to have on a shelf for nostalgia purposes. But back then, And looking through historically, those were the most joys a lens brought me that was not by the original camera's manufacturer. Now, it all could be tied back to the fact that they were just, new lenses to me. The technology of DSLRs was brand new to me. Everything was amazing. So all these things could be possible of why those two lenses stick out in my mind as being some of my favorite all-time lenses, aftermarket. But I just wanted to say, like, what was your favorite lens that you bought that did not have your camera's name on it? Do you even have one of those? Anyway, that's it. Just wanted to have a chat with you guys today. You know how much I love you guys on Sundays. So thank you for coming by, spending a few minutes with me in my town here, learning a little history of the town. Oh, and by the way, many years ago, about 7, 8 years ago, this track here almost killed me. There was a train coming from this direction while I was shooting the tracks that way, or vice versa. I think I was shooting the tracks this way because of the curve. Yeah, I was filming it because it curves around this way, and it is not a joke. You should never photograph on a track unless you're 100% sure it's closed and you have people spotting you to let you know whether or not a train is coming, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was sitting over here shooting, and then if the train did not blast his horn at the last minute, I would have been smushed. He had. How does a 3 million ton locomotive sneak up on you? I don't know, but it happens. It happens all the time. I didn't believe it. I thought I would hear it. And like I said, if it wasn't for him blasting his horn at the last minute and me jumping off the tracks, I wouldn't be here. I would be still here, but on like smush paste on the tracks. So, point to the story is, I almost died. Never shoot on the tracks. It's very dangerous. I got a great shot though. Anyway, all right, guys. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Stay strong, stay positive. Always love, respect the beard. Have an amazing day. Make sure you reach out to all the moms out there in your lives that you love and let them know today's not the only day you're thinking about them. All right, take care.